Santosh Menon.
It's fantastic to have all of you here today. Thank you, like Tamali and Kish said, thank you for making the effort to come in here today. So, welcome to the first edition of Rejig Shaping Brand Conversations. And actually, the whole conversation is going to be about brands today. So why are brands important? Brands are exceedingly important because they create loyalty. And that's a very, very important component when it comes to your brands and your products. Because when you have loyal customers, they give you more value, they buy your products more regularly, they stay with you through your ups and downs, and that has a direct implication on your sales, that has a direct implication on your market share, that has a direct implication on your profitability. Therefore, brands are important because you have loyal customers, and that's at the core of the conversation today. But more importantly, how can brands become purposeful? And that's today's conversation, really. So what is brand purpose? So brand purpose is a brand's promise to actively pursue change in the wider world. How brands choose to purpose that pledge is up to them. That call for change needs to be meaningful and relevant to a chosen target audience and vitally needs to be backed up by doing. It's an action-oriented strategy that can only be achieved and have true credibility when it creates real change that people value. And I think as we move forward in the conversation today, you will get clarity on what this means. Why is it needed? It's needed because if you take a look at this loyal customer and the consumer for your brand that we're talking about has actually been stopping to buy products that they perceive are unethical. In fact, I think there's a global study which says that 91% of the consumers were likely to switch to a brand that supports a good cause. So in that context, if loyalty is key to survival of brands, then brand purpose becomes key because otherwise your consumer is going to move away to another brand that actually has purpose. Now, let me tell you, and while we're having this conversation, this is important to have a context. I'm not here to sell you brand purpose. I'm actually here to explore brand purpose. And I really want to explore it in terms of the positives and negatives, which is why I have Chanithi here today who's going to contradict everything I'm going to say. And that's how we're going to make this conversation meaningful and interesting, because while I might advocate it, Chanithi is going to say no. And I think Chanithi is going to present viewpoints which are contradictory so that you can actually, during this conversation, immerse into the merits and demerits of brand purpose. And this is important for us to understand. So I'm going to be the advocate, she's going to be the naysayer. And that's how we're going to have this conversation today. And hopefully at the end of this 45-50 minute conversation, you would have actually understood the merits and demerits of this concept of brand purpose